So, let's kind of go through these answers as quick as we can just to get an idea, but these first two aren't too horrible. Stop me if there's something that doesn't make sense for what you need. Which color should I use? Where's my purple? Remember, for the domain. We're going to start on the left and work our way all the way to the right, hoping I can get all the way to the right without having to pick up my pencil. We're going to describe the x values for the left to right. The first thing I hit is an arrow on the left. So that's the negative infinity. Infinities always have open brackets. And then I can keep on going all the way to the right until I get an arrow on the right. So there's my domain. Negative infinity to positive infinity. Range is next up. Range is the bottom to the top. So I start at the bottom, I don't hit anything until I get to right there. Okay? Big question is whether it's an open dot or solid dot. Open dots are open dots. Everything else, solid. Okay? Only time you see it be open. So this is actually where it starts, which is at 2. Includes it, so that's a bracket. And then I can either go that way or that way, but as I go to the top, I hit an arrow on the top, so that goes to positive infinity. Arrows on the top and on the right are positive infinities. Number 10. Domain. Start on the left. The first thing I run into is an arrow on the left, so that's negative infinity. And I can work my way all the way to the right until I get to an arrow on the right. So as long as you don't see any open dots or breaks in the action, your domain's most likely going to be negative infinity to positive infinity. Not always. Range. First thing I get to on the bottom is this, which is at, what is that? 1, 2, and negative 3. And it includes it. So we're good to go. Now it looks like I maybe only get to that number, but I actually, if I keep going, I can get all the way to the top on this and hit an arrow on the top, which is positive. 12 I did yesterday, so let's just look at 11. Got some open dots and so on off of this. So for number 11, first thing I run into is that open dot right there, which is at negative 4. So it's going to be a negative 4 where I start. The open dot. And as I work my way all the way to the left, I end up stopping right there at a solid dot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes from negative 4 to positive 4, but it includes that. We're good to go. The range. I start at the bottom. First thing I run into is that, which is at negative 1. It includes it, and we're good to go. And now as I kind of work my way up, yes, there's an open dot there, but like we talked yesterday, I did use it over here. So I don't need to stop there. I can keep on going, but the highest I ever get is right there, which is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's the Y values that you're using to work your way up, so on off of that. Okay. So far so good? 2 more. So this one, start all the way from my domain on the left, and I see a solid dot. First thing I run into, and that's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's solid dot, bracket, -5. Then I can ride this craziness, but I get all the way to the right, and that's an arrow on the right, which is positive infinity. No breaks in the action. Now the range. I'm starting the bottom. First thing I'm running into is that. Close enough for government work. That looks like that's at -2, doesn't it? -2. And it includes it. And now there's a lot of different ways I can go, but I kind of talked about this yesterday a little bit. Watch out, because you can really end up going and end up using and hitting an arrow on the top. So that really goes all the way to positive infinity. Doesn't go up to there. It ends up all the y's you're going to use. Since that arrow is there, you're going to end up using all the y's all the way up to positive infinity. And a little weird on that one. Okay. 14 is going to be like 12. That there's this weird little thing to start with. This is the common mistake people are going to make. For the domain, I'm coming in. First thing I hit is an arrow on the left. Arrows on the left are negative infinity. People like to call that positive infinity because they think it's going up. Yes, that's the y value, but the x value, we're going from left to right. So that's the x value, and that's negative. And then it goes, boop. First open dot. I got an open dot. Where's that? Ooh. -5. -5, and it's an open dot. And then I have to pick it up again at -5. Get a free pass. And then this keeps on going. That's okay. It's just a hump. I don't have to stop. That's okay. It's just a solid dot. But it ends right there. Which is at what? 3? 3, and it includes it. Now the range. Which y values did I use? Well, the first thing I run into when I come up here is this open dot or solid dot at -5. Now since this is solid, that trumps that thing. Oh, that's maybe a bad word to say. Overrides that one in there. Now how high am I going to go? Well, that just goes there and stops. That just goes there and kind of comes back down. But way over here, this actually goes all the way up, and I hit an arrow on the top. And there you go. Okay. Any questions on those? Hopefully.